Hello everyone, welcome back to the studio. If you don't know me, my name is Leah and I'm a collage artist. Today we're doing a really fun project that I've waited months to do. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do it, but I knew that this was going to be the timeline for it and I'm really excited to get started. So a couple months ago, someone messaged me asking if I had any prints that featured nurses, and I said no. Me and hospitals, we don't get along. I'm so afraid of them. But a retired nurse reached out to me and asked if I could make her a commission. I respect nurses so much. I think that they have such an important role in our healthcare system, and I've had so many good experiences with them when I've needed them in the past. So I'm really excited to have this piece also as part of my collection. I hope it goes out to all the nurses. I hadn't really seen that many hospital images, so I definitely kept my eye out as I was looking through papers for my collage kits. And now the day has come where we get to put it all together. The other part of it is that she owns my Celebrate print. This is an 8x10 piece. So she was looking for something around the same size. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to go from here, but let's take a look at what we're going to make. Okay, so here's our quick pile that we're starting with. I've been collecting these for like months, and it's hilarious because there's only 3 pages here. The first piece I have is this one. It really reminds me of the last one. Then we have these two. As soon as I saw this one, I actually found this when I was doing my first collage kit, and I was like, ooh, this is a perfect image. I think that this one is going to be the best one for sure, but we definitely need to have other nurses. And this one has the same nurse, but I feel like their angle of face is like slightly different. I'm just not sure if like it's going to work. I wasn't given too much of a framework for this piece besides it had to be nurse themed, and she also liked my humor within my work. So we're going to have to make a funny nurse piece. The image that I found I really love, but it's definitely not an 8x10. So I wondered if I could make her a larger version and then make a smaller print and send both along. That way she had the option if she would like it. Or we can use this larger photo and crop it down if that is necessary. Given these people have parts of their leg kind of cut off from this blanket, whatever this is, I think that maybe we could tuck them in behind this larger one. Like there. Given these people don't have a patient and these ones do, I'm wondering if maybe we like cut around her hand and then she's like touching one of these, or maybe touching this one. Also part of this commission is it's supposed to be funny, so I feel like I need to find a phrase that kind of goes with this. And it just happens that I think this might actually work as a smaller size. It's getting close. I definitely like the direction it's going in, but I feel like we need to find some things, obviously some sort of text or maybe another funny nurse. I'm not really sure what that is, so I think we need to get a pile and start searching. I've actually decided the first thing I want to do is cut these out, so let's get started on that. Okay, now I got our pieces. Okay, so here's the first one. I think that I was keeping this to give it some stability, but I think it's just way too thin. I think that maybe we can have them like behind this, like that. And then I think this person, like her arm looks weird right now just because there was a face in the way. So I think that this part needs to be like behind it and it's like she's touching it. Maybe something like there. Like they're all comforting this one red blood cell. And I did this first to kind of imagine what this would go to, right? Like, what are we doing? And I wonder if like these could be like funneled with like a drink being poured in it. Like we could do like a drunk red blood cell and there's like this whole staff trying to take care of it. And this is like it's supposed to be a celebratory piece. It is about like retiring as a nurse. So I wonder if it's like about her red blood cells finally getting a break and her body having to be her nurse for her. Or is there someone like in the red blood cell that's getting taken care of? That could obviously be an option as well. And maybe it's someone like on vacation, as I said, someone like fully relaxing while these nurses are taking care of them. So obviously I have some ideas, but we don't have the papers to make it happen. So let's head to the bin and see what we can find. Before we move on, I have to talk about my latest print drop. Just last week, I dropped 6 new prints, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. They feature some of my Februage faves and some other ones that we've made here on YouTube. If you're interested in checking them out, you can go to flanzella.com, and I've linked that below as well to make it easier for you. Okay, let's get back to the video. So I've decided to start here. I'm going to put this to the side. For those of you who are new here, this is my book of people. I basically just stuff a lot of people in here, and I have most of it sorted, but it can get out of hand sometimes, and it's been a while since I've done that, so bear with me. This entire book is just full of people that I've wanted to use in collages, so I think that this is the perfect place to go to try and find some interesting angles. I try to sort people that have things going on that are a little bit different than just a standing pose, but sometimes if I spark inspiration, they get in here too. I also keep feet and hands and glasses and eyes and all of those things all sorted in here. So let's take a look and see what we can find. There's this lying down one, but I feel like this is more sensual, less celebration. I think this is about the right size though for what we want. You can kind of picture these people around her and then this in between. I think would work pretty perfectly. Even the way the legs are coming off, they could stream over there, but there's nothing fun about this. I'll keep it to the side just in case I find something else. I also have this one with the girl with the Fresca and Tootsie roll, and I'm not even sure what this is. Sylvia Blue Dot. Maybe it's a film thing. But yeah, I was thinking she could potentially be on the couch. That could work. Or if we want to stick to the black and white, this guy could kind of fit into the piece pretty easily. She would be touching his feet, I guess, or somewhere in there. She could be celebrating if we replace the thing with some sort of bottle, but then her feet are missing, so it would have to go off the edge. Like that. I also have a lot of these pinup girls. This one's kind of too big. This one doesn't really make sense. I don't like this pink on pink. Again, pink on pink. This girl looks a little too seductive, even though she technically fits. And this woman looks like it, that's what I was kind of going for. But she's not holding a drink. She's not celebrating. And then this woman just looks fully voyeuristic, right? So hold this one again, but I think we still need to look. I'm just taking a look at some Playboys, and this one's pretty funny. I think it's funny that she's grabbing her tummy but looking glamorous at the same time. I've been looking for so long and I just found this image. I think it's really funny. I think it might work. I don't know if we need all 3 people. I don't know how to get all the champagne that's flying out into the shot. But I think this is amazing. As soon as I flipped to this page, I was really excited. Okay, so I think this is gonna work, and I just wanted to point out how awesome this couch is and all the staging. I would love to use it for something else, so I'm definitely gonna just scan it just in case. I feel like this is one of those good ones that will be good for Februage next year when you're trying to do a challenge and it's kind of fun and weird, and I think the background could be different. Even though the background in this one is so weird already, I think it could be even weirder. So yeah, gonna scan this quick and then we'll get to cutting. I also want to point out too that I love that the clothing is black and this little bit of green is really nice, especially against a light pink. Okay, so I think this is going well. I really like it so far. I think what I've done is I've lined up the IV with where the bottle's coming out. I'm not sure if that's good or funny or not. Let me know what you guys think of that part of it. I'm not really too sure. And then I'm wondering if I should cut her pants. It's just very hard to tell where his jacket would be and where she would be. And I kind of like having the dots, but then I'm is it too much? I might have to cut in a little bit here just to show that he has like a shoulder, I guess. And I definitely want to have some of the spray, so I wish I could figure that out. Funny enough, at Artist Project, they gave us a little sponsored bag of goodies, and I have this white gel pen that honestly looks exactly like that. So I think I could cut some of this out and like put some dots around. A little bit more mixed media than usual, but I think that it would fill in where these like other specs would be usually. I'm trying to figure out where her hand goes as well. Like, I think this makes the most sense, but it looks weird for her to like be covering his face, obviously. So I was trying to figure out like where she goes, if that is like the angle, and then her body, if it's here, then it doesn't really cover behind, but maybe it's like here and like kind of getting behind this a little bit more. And then that way she's also pushed out versus on top. So, but I think that's okay. Like, I think we might actually be able to do like an 8x10 with this. Also, the big debate is if we include this guy, which I think would honestly provide like some sort of humor lift and kind of like a bottom angle. Like he could be right along the bottom and right along the side, somewhere like here. I think I like this though. I think it's really silly. You can tell that they're having a good time, and it brings in that feel of like the celebration within the red blood cells, which is like the peace celebration that she likes in the first place. Very exciting, but I just mocked it up digitally and sent her the digital version, and she loves it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and place it down. While I do this, I thought it would be pretty helpful to talk about my process with commissions. Firstly, I only like to take on a couple a year. I don't like to take more than that because I find that I can creatively burn out on commissions very easily. Making art under someone else's constraints can be a great challenge, or it can be the bane of your existence. I really started Flanzella when I felt like I didn't have any control over the work I was making, both in work and in my freelance work for graphic design. So this is definitely something that I don't want to make into something where I have to follow rules as well too often, but I do find it really fun to do a commission here and there. When I read the pitch to see what the piece is going to be about, I like to think about like how I'm feeling and really get in tune with those feelings inside of me. Often, if I feel a tug towards yes, I will say yes. And if I'm kind of like, I'm not sure about this, I say no. If you've decided to take on some commissions, I beg of you to never start the piece until you have at least 50% of the payment. Do not lift a finger until you get a single dollar in your bank account. Otherwise, you're working for free and you don't know if that person's ever going to actually pay you or not. I definitely haven't had issues with this in my art business, but I've had so many issues with this in my graphic design business where people will be like, oh, just need a quick logo. And I'll be like, yeah, for sure. And then all of a sudden you get excited and you send something over and then you never hear from them again. So yeah, usually I like to send them a quote. I send them an invoice if they say it's okay. And then before I start, I need to receive 50% of my payment and 50% before it ships to them. And then I'm really good at time management, so I kind of know how long a project's going to take. This can really vary, but for this one specifically, I knew I had a lot of events, so I kind of pushed back the timeline, which honestly was amazing because it helped me have time to source all of the images for this. I don't think I would have been able to do this in just a week. It took so long to find them. I'm going to emphasize how important it is to give yourself way more runway than you usually think you would take. As soon as you have more constraints, something like this where it has to be funny and nurse, for example, it sounds pretty easy at first, but if you can't find images to go in that way, it can be really difficult. I feel like I could talk about this topic for a very long time, so if you have any other questions on it, put them down below. I'll answer them as best I can. I've decided to call this piece Take Care. I think it's perfect because it covers the idea of taking care of someone like a nurse does, and also saying goodbye, because this is a piece made for her retirement. So I think it's perfect. And with that, I guess we're done. It is so rewarding for a project to go from beginning to end, and I really hope that you guys like the final results. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'm seeing my stats now, and apparently like 78% of you are watching my videos and not subscribing. What gives? So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you'll get to see the videos that you're already watching faster. Okay, that's all for me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.